Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kago coming at you with another video. So today we're here for the swamp biome breakdown. So I'm in here in the swamp. It's honestly my least favorite biome in this game, mainly because it is cold, it is wet. You are always wet when you're in the swamp. Like, regardless of it raining all the time, you are just always wet unless you go into some of the dungeons or you build a shelter, but just walking outside of your base will make you wet. So it's kind of really annoying because you're always having slower stam regions, as well as the mobs here are brutal. Nothing grows in the swamp. You can't plant anything of any sort. And yeah, it just is all really crappy when it comes to that. This right here, there are ancient trees, which will give ancient bark, which is pretty nice for gathering things. There are fir trees, which are just straight wood, as well as these bushes. They'll give that. This right here is a dungeon. I have already been inside this one, so I cannot go in there. Or I guess I can go in here and show you what it sort of looks like, the layout, and we'll get into that. So they're called Sunken Crypts, and this is your iron source. So sometimes these pathways will be blocked by debris fields. They'll be blocked by these, which you can't mine, and they will be blocked by muddy debris scraps. And this right here is the stone to find Bone Mass, which is the boss in the swamp. As you can see, we already know he's right here. These chests will contain lots of iron, things like that. So as you see that's a muddy scrap pile. I will try to see if there is one inside this dungeon that I have not mined, but it is one of the only ways to get iron. So yeah, you're really going to be looking for them to hit in order to get a lot of iron. Little stutter there because of the world save, but yeah, you just sort of mine these for iron. There's usually a lot of dredgers and skeletons in here that you want to be careful of. So this chest also is a source of chains, so that's where you can get those as well. That definitely helps you out a lot. And then withered bones is what you need to summon the boss, as well as, there are valuables that you can sell at the merchant that we talked about in the last video. But you need 10 withered bones to summon Bone Mass, and you find them inside of these dungeons, and they're pretty much just randomly generated like all the others in this game. There are these little passageways, which kind of suck because you can go through here and you will get wetness, which, as I mentioned, lowers your stamina, and it just sucks to constantly refresh that buff. However, it's looking like I did fully clear this dungeon here, so I can't really show you any muddy scrap piles other than that's sort of what they look like. You just take a bronze or iron pickaxe, you mine these, and you have a chance to get withered bone, leather scraps, as well as some iron scrap. And then you just put the iron scrap inside a furnace, and that's how you get the next stuff. Pretty straightforward, honestly. Not too bad. I like these dungeons as far as the mobs go, or as far as like they go with versus the skeleton ones. Those were a bit nicer. I would actually recommend when you're first coming to the swamp to use 2 of them, because they can be bring 2 pickaxes so you don't go, and then travel by boat. I would not recommend building a base. Then the mobs here, there are leeches. That is right there. They drop blood bags, which you will use for a lot of potions and stuff, so do not get rid of these. You might not feel like you're going to do them, and then be careful, because if they bite you, they poison you. Same with the blobs. They sort of jump around and they will attack you, and they will also poison you. Pretty much everything here poisons you. When you fight Bone Mass, he poisons you. A big thing to get is poison protection pots. They will help you a ton. You can bring them in there. You don't necessarily need them for leeches if you have healing pots or some good food, but getting bit by them does quite a bit. Then there are a lot of spawn points around here that you gotta watch out for. That is an blob right there. You gotta be careful. They just sort of jump at you, and if they get to you, they will attack, and then they will hit you with their poison. So that's pretty much what you want to watch out for. He was just about to do that. Then there are also skeletons here. You gotta watch out for them. They're the same that you've been fighting, and now this is sort of those places that I was telling you to be careful. An evil bone piles right here, and so we got to kill that before it keeps spawning these skeletons and these dredgers. The weapon I'm using is made of silver, which we will talk about later. It's in the mountain, but it does increase damage versus undead creatures, so it's pretty nice to use versus these, as well as it slows them, so I like to use it when I'm in the swamp. And then they just sort of have poison arrows, chains in these. But when you're in a dungeon, make sure you kill these body piles and then worry about the mobs, because they will just keep spawning. Now that all the body piles are dead right there, these mobs are going to be done spawning for a bit. So it's pretty nice like that. And then the last sort of unique mob that spawns here is going to be sulfurings, and you can actually get a lot of cores here from them. You'll look for fire, and then as we see here, there's more thistle, which always pick up thistle, guys. It is so helpful. It is so nice to use. Gives you a lot of potions that you're going to be making a ton once you get that fermentator online and that cauldron. But right here is where you see the fire tornado. That is going to be where the sulfurings spawn right here, or surtlings, and then they give they drop coal as well as they drop their cores, so you can get more furnaces, more things like that going. They're actually a really good way to farm, and if you're near a spawn, like if you build your portal in or something, they will actually render it in and spawn in and fight the mobs here in the swamp. So it's pretty cool. Now it's getting night here, as you can tell. So once it gets dark, there is a unique mob that I want to sort of show you guys. It's pretty fun to fight. Well, it's not fun to fight, but it's pretty cool looking, and it's a great way to get chains when you're trying to upgrade your forge. You'll know more about that once we get here. And then really, I think the only other unique material that you're going to be finding here is going to be turnip seeds. And I would definitely recommend you look for those. They're going to be little seed flowers that sort of look like the carrot seeds. And it'll give 3 turnip seeds, and you just sort of plant those exactly like carrots. You'll use a lot of them for some really good foods. So big recommendation to sort of look for a turnip seed plant, get those turnips, because you will definitely be using it quite a lot. I use them even now, and we're about ready to kill the final boss. This is my progression on this server here. So it's been really fun. I really enjoy this game. And sort of making these guides to help you guys. But that's pretty much it for the swamp, guys. I don't think I've missed anything. I could show you a dungeon, but I actually forgot my key. You get the swamp key from killing the Elder boss, and then that's sort of your next natural progression is to come here. And then, yeah. My best advice is do not settle in the swamp, but you can definitely build near it. And keep your entrails that you get from the dredgers, your blood bags. You're definitely going to use a lot of those. And I can't emphasize enough how obnoxious it can be when you run out of materials and you're here. Pretty much, since you see that I'm wet, and when it becomes night you get cold, even with the frost resistance cape on. But that's another day for the mountain biome once we get there, but it is night, so I can sort of look for that mob that I wanted to show you. They're very ghastly, if you will, but it is the only source that drops chains that I know of. It's the only way to get chains is to come to the swamp at night and kill this mob. So hopefully we can get a spawn here. I'm just sort of running around trying to see if we will. Obviously we can always pick up more thistles, as well as maybe even we'll find a turnip seed plant, but who knows, it can be quite lucky or quite unlucky, but anyway, it's a spectral sort of ghost mob that spawns, and yeah, they hit kind of hard, and you want to make sure that you can defeat them. And while you're exploring the swamp, my best recommendation is bring a good boat. You should have access to a longboat once you make your first iron, so you'll use the knife at first, but you can get all that scrap iron back to your base and sort of start processing it accordingly. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you have any comments, questions, anything, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer them, and I really hope that this breakdown of the swamp helps you, and we will get to the mountain breakdown next. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It truly means a lot to me. If you happen to find anyone that you know would also benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. It helps me out a ton and allows me to keep doing what I love every single day, and that is gaming and sort of helping people any way that I can. So finally, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.